poppin', y'all? It's your girl Jersey with the spotlight on Afrovibes TV and radio station. So today we have a special guest. We have Megan
and Biko. What's Gucci and the Coochie, guys?
How are you feeling?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
I like talking. I'm a yapper. So this is fun. And answering questions.
So I did a little research, and something that I found interesting, y'all, is she was on Disney at age 2, right?
4. I modeled for Disney when I was 4. Yeah, my mom 8. Like, she knew what she was doing. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow,
I was
4.
I was born in LA, and yeah, she put me in modeling when I was like before I spoke English.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, there's a box that I was on, like a Disney princess box, and I'm like in the middle, and I was it was called Mega House, and it was huge main character syndrome, I'm not gonna lie, because my name's Megan and I was in the middle. I was like, y'all, it's meant to be. And yeah, you know, that was my show and tell throughout elementary school when I moved to Houston.
That's so cool. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do now since then? So you were 4 years old and now...
Yeah, so I moved from LA to Houston because we were a little broke. LA is expensive to raise a family. And I grew up in Houston, and I kind of took a break from the industry throughout like primary school. I got a little into modeling when I was in high school, but what I did was a scam. I'm not gonna expose it here. But yeah, it was like you pay for classes and like, yeah, nothing much came from it. But
happens.
yeah, now I started pursuing content creation. I technically started 2020, but I didn't start like locking in, getting the hang of it, and like actually like taking off until like early 2024. Late 2023.
Okay.
But yeah, I do content full time at Mbiko. Go there if you dare. Beware.
Beware.
Dark humor. And I post daily on there. I've done stand-up a couple times, and that's actually what I plan on getting back into the most.
Okay.
Actually, I'm finding a stand-up coach.
Nice.
And yeah, I've done runway. Or runway is like the main source of like modeling that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't acted in too many things, but honestly, acting in your own skits, like, and critiquing every single like take you do, and like really like nitpicking every single one of like your work you do daily, you get good. Like, that beats fucking private lessons. And yeah, the first thing I ever wanted to be was a singer. And yeah, like I wanted to go into music, so I'm in singing lessons, and that's probably gonna be the last thing I do. But it's on the list.
So we got a content creator, we have a model, then we have a runway model, then we have a singer, comedian. What else? Is that everything?
Yeah, I mean, girlfriend, lover girl. I mean, I'm not a girlfriend now, but I mean, I'd like to be soon.
Yeah, Houston, we not gonna find it
at all. No, literally, I'm waiting to move out. So like, maybe in LA I'll have more options, but no, definitely not here.
Houston is not the place to find your husband, I'm sadly realizing.
Yeah, anymore. I mean, when you're 19, you don't know any better. You know, like,
yeah, that is
man
true.
Is a man. But
so, from Disney at 4 years old, do you think that had any like impact on you? Because I know you said you do a lot of dark humor. Where do you find that from?
Well, dark humor, I feel like people who use dark humor and use dark humor the most are people who've been through shit and have like struggled and been through a lot, just because like it's really like making light of like really deep sensitive topics. And like I feel like a lot of people who have like been through a lot of things, been through a lot of trauma, and like they you cope with humor, usually have like that muscle to like laugh in the face of adversity of like stuff. So it has nothing to do with Disney, or I don't think dark humor has anything to do with Disney, but being on Disney when I was 4 definitely set the bar high. Like, you know, like it set the bar high as for like where I can end up, just because of like where I already started, and like, you know, how cool of an accomplishment I had before I was potty trained. Like, it definitely set the bar of like, you know, imagine what I could do after I know how to use the bathroom. Like, you know, like it's I'm really proud of my mom for doing that. And yeah.
So I did a little research. So I found out that she actually went to U of H.
I did.
But it wasn't your true passion to go to school? What happened with that?
Not even. I actually wish I could live like 8 different realities and lives, because I do like school. actually. Not to toot my own horn, but to I got a 4.0 at U of H. Like, I genuinely enjoyed school and I
Nice.
enjoyed learning and stuff. Like, it was fun. And I was a psychology major at the time, which means I know exactly what all you were thinking.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Psychology majors, where's that?
Mind read, you too,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember. But yeah, I enjoy school. I enjoy learning, honestly. And if I wasn't doing like the glamour Hollywood route, I definitely would go through with my psychology degree and work in a mental health hospital or something, or like
Mhm.
work with children in child psychiatry or something. Like, maybe when the titties are saggy, we'll go back to school and do something with that degree. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, honestly, you're never too old to go back to school. There's people
Exactly.
going back to school at like 60 years old, and I give it to them because I don't want to be near no finals, reading no textbooks. Like, I don't miss
Yeah.
that stuff.
But I when I like start having kids, I want to like fully undivided attention be a mom. So like, yeah, the odds of me going back to school are low. But, yeah, y'all be safe though. Stay in school, kids. Go to school. It's great.
Get your education.
Yeah, exactly. If I had what's it called? If I had a lot of money too, I also might go into, if I'm not going in debt going to school, then like maybe I'd take a couple classes while doing what I do.
Mhm.
But we don't have the extra money to be doing that. So
I feel you.
so yeah.
So how was it kind of navigating that period of kind of taking that step back from school? Because sometimes that could be hard, and it could be like a mental strain too.
Well, it's actually an interesting story, but I basically like had what you would call a spiritual awakening in like around COVID or like around
Okay.
August of 2020. And in that spiritual awakening, I feel like I kind of like learned about myself and like discovered like who I am, like my strengths, my weaknesses, and like my potential. Shout out Myra Briggs personality type. That definitely changed my life.
Yes.
And I just kind of had an awakening that like the person that I wanted to be in my adulthood when I was a child, you know, that was my destiny all along. I kind of just had to like go through, like learn certain lessons and like, you know, go through it, went through a deep depression where like I thought were very lowly of myself.
Mhm.
But then like, you know, I had the awakening and I stayed in school for like another year for safety, like in case I was tripping.
Okay.
But yeah, the more time went on, I was like more sure that like it was the right thing to do, and I just dropped out and didn't look back. Like it was the easiest thing I had done.
Hey, I give it to you. I give it to you. It's hard to kind of make that decision because the society, it pushes that, hey, we gotta grow up, go to college, find a job, and that's it. But
Yeah.
you know, times has changed, bro.
No, for sure, 100%. And if you have the means to go to college for like a backup plan, like I definitely recommend it because the America has like built their system towards people going to college and like getting jobs with degrees. They know what they're doing.
So what made you kind of, so now your content is kind of around like advocating for like mental health, right?
A lot of it, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like basically, like I've been to the mental health hospital for bipolar disorder twice, and yeah, it was actually like in there the first time. It was like the era where I was having like all the realizations of like how the rest of my life was gonna go. And you know, if someone like says they're gonna make it in Hollywood in there, it's hard to believe them. But then when it like actually started like manifesting and coming to life and like taking place,
Yeah.
I kind of want to like be an inspiration for other people who struggle mentally, only because like I had such big dreams at such a low point,
Yeah.
and it's like actually happening.
Yeah, you
And
manifested it.
And I really think that like struggling, like for example, like a manic episode, for example, will change your behaviors, but like not your thoughts, you know? So like if you believe in yourself, like no matter the state you are in, that like you can achieve certain things and you're destined for certain things, then it's all about planting that seed and like, you know, having that script and following it.
So you said you were diagnosed with bipolar?
Yeah, actually a lot of things. Well, not too many, but I have ADHD and bipolar, and I think I have a little bit of OCD.
A little bit of OCD?
Yeah, a little bit.
When did you say that?
A lot of people do. I think it's like actually pretty common. Or a lot of people I notice like with doing more research in mental illness are like undiagnosed. Like you
Yeah.
need to go to a psychiatrist, sir. But yeah, when I was in third grade or like when I was in elementary school, I couldn't sleep unless I locked the doors 3 times in my house, closed the garage door, closed the closet door, charged my phone. This is the craziest part. Peed 6 times? Like I had a routine that I had to follow, or else I couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
And granted, it's definitely calmed down as I've gotten older after I have a phone. Like a distraction. But like, yeah, I definitely had some OCD when I was younger. And yeah, something that my psychiatrist told me back when I went to him was if you have like one mental illness, you're more likely to have a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're on the spectrum for one, you're on the spectrum for all.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like quite interesting to me.
Yes.
But yeah.
So would you say that was like your most like overcoming period when you were diagnosed with that, or what was like the kind of defining moment where you had to overcome something?
Well, I feel like in COVID, I definitely was really, really depressed. I feel like I coped or I like distracted myself a lot with like my social life.
Yeah.
And college. And you know, when you're like forced to be alone in isolation as a mega extrovert,
definitely
you're forced to be with your thoughts and there's no distractions anymore. So
that's crazy that we really was like on lockdown
yeah,
like 5 years ago.
yeah.
5 years? Yeah, it's been 5 years.
I wouldn't even mind being on lockdown again, only because like I have so much to do at home now, like streaming and content. It's like if everyone's at the crib, everyone's on their phones. I think it's gonna help. But yeah, I mean, like overcome. Honestly, I'd say when I was depressed before, but it wasn't too bad. It's just something that eventually passed. I think that like things like depression, although they can be more long term than just short term sadness, should be like viewed in your head as like, you know, you're laying in a park and it's just a depression cloud that's like passing by.
Yeah.
And you have to detach yourself from it and just like let it pass. And it will, especially if you view it that way. But yeah, overcome. I mean,
or what is something that you're proud of that has shaped you into who you are now?
Yeah, definitely my mental health hospital experience for sure. And you know, like I didn't feel like I was at rock bottom because I was having fun. Like I was happy. I was having the time of my life. But like if you would have seen me from a third person perspective, like I lost my mind. I fully lost my mind. And yeah, when I went to the mental health hospital, it was like a very positive experience. Yeah. One of the things that like I definitely want to do with like my platform and like my purpose and voice is to like really reshape the way people view seeking help, whether it's like therapy or mental health hospital, because I felt like I was on vacation. Like you don't have a job, you don't have to worry about like going to work,
about the reality of
no, you get to take a break and fully just focus on getting better. Like that's the only thing you have to focus on. And like you'll draw, doodle, read, like it's almost like you're in elementary school again. And yeah, like I definitely think the world would be a much better place if like people like viewed seeking help as like a vacation. Or like taking a hiatus vacation from life.
Yeah, because some people there, at least, so I'm a counselor like by day. So what I've realized is a lot of people, they see seeking help as a weakness. Yeah. And what I try to do is it's all about changing perspective, right? So I try to have my clients look at it differently, because you have to find a vulnerable place and dig deep to be able to ask for help. And
it's really a stigma when it comes to mental, like there's no stigma going to the physical doctor. There's no stigma getting a surgery done. Like it's really just like mentally, because people think that like something is wrong with them and they just take it so much more personally than like a physical flaw. Yeah. But yeah, like it's a lot of people do see it as a weakness or as like something's wrong with them or like there's some monster. I honestly wish that like there was a law where like everyone had to go get help or like everyone had to have a therapist. Like I really do think the world would be a better place if people had to go to therapy once a week.
More peaceful and maybe a little bit more people being understanding.
less narcissists,
Less.
more self-aware people. Like, yeah, no, I think it'd be great. But yeah, I mean, like, that I'm most proud of, like, I really think it's mainly in a nutshell, like, going to the mental health hospital, like, having really big, deep passions of, like, following my dreams and changing the world in a way,
Yeah.
and making actual progress on it.
No,
Like,
that's
not
something to be
actually being
proud of.
insane.
Mhm.
Especially when, like, I started having those, like, it's almost like prophetic. Like, I started having those, like, in the most, like, vulnerable state I've ever been in my life. Like,
Yeah.
it was a very spiritual experience for sure. Like, my friend had said that I was, like, I've never read the Bible. Like, I grew up Catholic,
Okay.
but he said that I, like, was kind of, like, reiterating points of the Bible with, like, saying, like, certain things, and it was just a really cool experience.
No, that's well, definitely gotta give her a round of applause because it's not hard to talk about the serious things that we go through, and especially going to, a mental health hospital. That's not easy to tell people.
Yeah.
So I definitely give you your props, your flowers now, and I'm glad that you're at a place where you can share it with the world in a.
As time progresses, it gets even easier to talk about, like, when you first get out, it's like, all right, is she gonna go back in? Like, is she ever gonna make it? Like, is she ever gonna go anywhere? Like, what's going on? But it's like, the more I succeed and the more I get done, I feel like the more inspiring it is that I started there to people. So it's like, I enjoy talking about it. Like, I enjoy, like, putting that message out there.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna hold that thought and we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with the spotlight with Megan and your host Jersey, and we'll be right back. So thank you guys for joining us back on the spotlight with your girl Jersey
and Megan and Biko.
So before the break, we were talking about mental health awareness, and Megan has shared that she actually went to a mental health facility, and so we were kind of dialing in on that. So you had mentioned kind of that your experience was a positive for you.
For sure.
That kind of started your whole career where you're at now.
For sure. It definitely planted the seed of, like, the potential of, like, where I could go and stuff. And yeah, like, it was a very positive experience. Like, I kind of remember, like, when I first went there and my mom wanted to take me, I thought I was going to McDonald's. I'm just kidding. But she told me that I wanted to go, or that I needed to go, and I was like, I'll get out in a day. Like, I don't need to be there. Watch. And I'm, like, in there for 11 days.
11 days.
Yeah, 11 days the first time, and yeah, around 11 days the second time.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, when I was in there, like, I genuinely was, like, happy to be there. Like, I remember a guy had texted me that was in there, and he was like, you walked in there spreading straight positive energy. You made it seem like I should be happy to be in there. I remember I would, like, I would write, like, inspirational quotes, and, like, the text would, like, hang up what I'd say on the walls. And yeah, like, it was cool taking a break from, like, responsibilities, but
yeah.
I definitely have a very short attention span. I'm Gen Z, and I was very bored after, like, a day or two. It was funny because I remember I had a roommate that woke up and she was like, "Are we in prison?" She, like, woke up in there. She was so confused. But
you said you were in there twice.
Yeah, I was in there August of 2020 and February of 2021.
Okay.
But the first time was definitely more extreme, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay. So when you were navigating all of this, who was, like, your support system to go to during that time?
My best friends at the time,
Your best
I'd
friends?
say. That I'd actually talk about, like, yeah, my friends. I feel like I built a very, like I've turned like a lot of friends into family,
Yeah.
especially because of like, family issues, problems, whatever. And yeah, love my friends.
Okay.
Shout out friends of MB.
Shout out to the friends.
Yeah. And yeah, it was I immediately started posting as soon as I got out.
Like
Like as soon as I got out, like in the car. Just kidding, but like but like as soon as I got out, I started posting and I started like taking off, I think like 3 to 4 months after I first posted.
Oh, wow.
Or after I got out.
Mm-hmm.
And my first TikTok, man, I don't even want to talk about it on here because I don't want anyone to go on the dark web and dig up some archives of my old TikTok. But I was wild on my old TikTok. Like 19-year-old Megan was unhinged. Like I was just so crazy. I was looking back and like maybe I'm auntie, like maybe I'm growing up. If I'm like referring to 19-year-old me in the past like that. But like, wow, I was crazy. People think my posts now are crazy. No.
So crazy, define crazy.
I don't even
Some
want to.
people,
I don't
some
even
people think crazy is like crazy, or like crazy like what kind of thing?
Too crazy. Just bold, unhinged. I do a lot of dirty jokes
Okay.
at the time, or like when I was 19, I do a lot of them.
Yeah, I remember being 19 and yeah, definitely a little different than
Yeah, hormones going crazy. They definitely were on my TikTok.
So how do you believe humor can be an effective tool for people who are dealing with like mental health issues?
Oh my God. You can laugh anything off. Like,
Yeah.
like you can laugh anything off. And I feel like it's a skill. Like the people who choose to cope with humor get so good at it.
Yeah.
And like after you've like mastered the art of coping with humor, you're rarely actually down about stuff anymore.
Mhm.
Because like you'll always find like something to laugh
Yeah.
at or some bright side to it.
Mhm.
And
It definitely makes the situation a little lighter, but I've noticed it makes other people uncomfortable. And it's like,
dark humor.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly haven't really noticed that much.
Mhm.
I think it depends how you do it. There's I like realized that like in order to properly execute dark humor,
Mhm.
a person has to have a lot of emotional intelligence and empathy to
Yeah.
know what's going to be too offensive, what's
Mhm.
not going to go well, what's going to be triggering.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of empathy and EQ that goes into dark humor
Mhm.
that you need to know how to do it. Some people do it wrong. I go on Reddit and I look at like dark humor and some of them are just using an excuse to be racist on there. Like
Yeah.
there's the excuse to be offensive and racist, like
Mhm.
you have to
You're
have,
racist.
you have to have empathy, like a lot of empathy to like properly do it.
Mhm. So, with the industry kind of being like demanding, what specific challenges have you faced regarding mental health in the field? And how have you addressed them when it comes to now that you're in this industry of content and kind of in your career?
All right, well, two things. Basically being in the public eye makes you more of a target for sure for
Mhm.
crimes and
For crimes?
yeah.
Crimes.
Like someone had broken in my house like
Oh,
December of 2023. I don't know if it's someone from online or someone I knew or my ex. I don't know.
yeah, whoever broke into her crib,
That's what I'm saying. They're probably watching this. Honestly, they're probably watching this. They're like, probably would.
we won't come find you. It's all right. Just keep watching.
They broke in my room only. Only my room and then left. And let's see. Someone hacked into my Snapchat, my eyes only. There's
Wow.
there's nothing holy in there. And they leaked stuff on Reddit.
Oh.
Yeah. It's taken down though. Don't look.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, someone hacked my eyes only. And yes, it's that, and I'd say like the part about blowing up that's affected my mental health the most is definitely social life.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm a little bit like ostracized, I feel, from a lot of people in Houston,
Mhm.
in a sense to where like I feel like a lot of people, they've even said that like, oh, you're out of reach, like you're famous now, like you're too busy for me, like
Like
don't even bother reaching out to me because like they think I'm like too Hollywood for them.
Mhm.
And yeah, definitely like not heavily relating to a lot of people on a deeper level as
Yeah.
much as I do people, I'd say, in like LA that also like go through this similar like problems and issues and stuff. And yeah, a lot of jealousy. I actually had a dream about jealousy last night. Like,
Really?
I did a Victoria's Secret lingerie contest because like I've done them
Okay.
and I won.
Wait,
And I,
this was the dream? Or is
yeah,
this real?
dream.
Okay.
And I won. And there were these two girls that were like, "We fucking hate you. I hate you." They were like talking about how they hated me just because I won.
Mhm.
And like ChatGPT, great for dream interpretations, by the way.
Yes.
Uh,
I definitely
great.
definitely used it.
ChatGPT was talking about how like it's kind of acknowledging emotional tension in my life currently.
Mm.
And yeah, honestly, jealousy is the strongest emotion that a human can feel.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people like aren't on board with the fact that I want them to win too, and I
Mm.
want everyone to win with me.
Yeah.
But people will still be jealous regardless, just for having something that they want.
Yeah. Having something that they can't achieve or they're not realizing that they can achieve it too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it's like I'm here to help and inspire, not
Yeah.
to compete, you know?
Mhm.
I don't like one thing I never understood is like the girls being in competition with girls thing. And I kind of had a theory. I'm like, it's because I'm gay. I'm not gay, I'm bi. But like, it's because I'm bi. It's like, I feel like a lot of bisexual girls are less likely to like be in competition with other women because I feel like if a girl that's attracted to women sees a really high value girl, she's more likely to be attracted to her than
Okay.
like
Yeah.
like
Okay,
in
that makes
competition
sense.
with her. That's my theory.
Okay. Okay. I think that's I'm not bi, but I can see how that would make sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Okay. So, future. Looking ahead, you're in Houston. What is next for Megan?
So as soon as I hit a mill, I'm 25K away at Embico, follow the gram.
Follower.
So after I hit a mill, I'm gonna throw a party. I'm not allowed to say publicly, but I am going on a reality show in May to July. I don't know when. After I get back from the reality show, I'm gonna move to LA.
Okay. That's
After
big.
Mhm.
That's big.
I
Big
already lived in
career.
LA. Like I was born in LA. Like I roots there, so it's not like too crazy. But I'm moving to LA. I'm gonna get deep into stand up.
Mhm.
Acting agent, which I already have. Do
Okay.
more acting gigs since I'll be in LA. Singing lessons in the back burner. Modeling agency in my prime. I actually have a book that I'm writing.
Nice.
It's like a spiritual self-help, also kind of autobiography type of book.
Okay.
And it's like obviously a pro mental health book. And I'd like to turn it into a movie one day, but that's later down the line.
Okay.
But yeah, I also want to go into pageantry, advocating for mental health. I want to do that.
And
And
I've been in a pageant, even in high school.
No.
No homecoming queen, not prom.
I actually ran for homecoming court and other people that were in competition got me disqualified.
Wow. So that goes back to the
Crazy.
jealousy.
Crazy. I really think I had it in the bag too. Like I really think I could have won. It's so unfortunate.
That's crazy.
I did get nominated for class clown though,
Okay, that's something.
which I
That's something.
personally think is a much bigger flex than homecoming queen
Yeah.
as a woman too.
Yeah. I was on homecoming court. I didn't win, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't
But-
win class clown. I got nominated.
But I know like that whole process and the fact that people got you disqualified. It's like for
I'm
what?
really that much of a threat.
Like what? Like you said, we all can win. Like
Yeah, well, not literally for homecoming court, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we can.
one person has to win. But no, that's crazy to have you disqualified. How did you feel with that though?
I was upset. I mean, really, life goes on. It was because I got kicked off the cheer team too. That kind of upset me because that was like the last year I could have cheered because I wasn't gonna do that in college. So senior year, kicked off the cheer team because of homecoming court. And it's funny because I posted on my story, nominate me. No. I posted on my Finsta, nominate me for a bottle of Svedka and 2 grams of Dank. I was crazy back then, y'all.
Wow. So someone told on you.
But it was obviously a joke. I couldn't even afford a Four Loko for myself. Like, obviously, I'm not going to bribe people with substances. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, in the future, I'll want to do a lot. I really plan on like full sending my 20s. I really need to do it in like I need to be very strategic because it's like, although I'm still young,
Yeah.
I'm not 19. You know, like I'm approaching my mid-20s. Like, I need to hurry up, or I feel like I need to like be more.
Why do you feel like you need to hurry up to get to a certain level of success or career, or
I really want to like when I have children, I really want to be a mom. Like that's also one of the things I want to be in life.
yeah,
Like I don't want to like be the mom that's like working all the time or like
Mm.
out doing films and stuff. Like I kind of want to get as much
Yeah.
done in my 20s
so
so
you
I
can
can
be
like
present.
present as a mother in my 30s and 40s and stuff. I'll still do stuff on the side.
Yeah, but that won't be like your main thing. Your main thing will be, okay, now I'm in mom mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I want to get like everything done in my 20s and yeah, I feel like that's why I have like a time limit.
Okay. So I have one more question for you.
Right?
Your message to others.
I
So
feel like I've already talked about it.
what message or advice would you give to someone who may be going through the same thing that you went through? Like maybe going through episodes or going to a mental health facility. Like, what advice can you give to those people?
Well, a few things. Number one, definitely seek and get the help you need. It's there for a reason. You are not any less of a person for seeking help. If anything, being able to put your pride aside to do what's best for you and what's essentially going to be best for other people around you is the high vibrational thing to do. So definitely seeking help has been the most life-changing thing in my life. Also, I'm pro medication. I personally am for people who need it.
Mm-hmm.
So like get on the medication you need. And when you get on medication, you know, you have to date around. Like you might not have the perfect combination at first, but like you need to be patient and just date around. Date around, get help. You know, everything in life is about how you view things. The glass will always be half full to someone in any situation, no matter how you look at it.
Unfortunately.
And yeah, the glass, no, half full is good. Half full. And yeah, like I feel like mental illness, there are so many strengths and weaknesses. So instead of dwelling on the fact that you have things and like how it may hold you back, you know, each set of mental illnesses have ways it actually makes you more cracked of a human and more productive. And there are strengths to everything, and really like utilize the gifts and like superpowers that your mental illness has. And after you like view a mental illness as a superpower instead of like a disorder,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your behaviors with it change for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, love the people around you. I like this Dr. Seuss quote, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're Simon Cowell and everyone's auditioning for your show.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry about if you like someone. No, if they like you, worry about if you like them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about what anyone thinks, because when you're in that grave, your own opinion of yourself is the only one that's going to matter.
Yeah. So that's why you got to have that relationship with your inner self. So within your spirit, because that's what's going to fuel you to keep going. Because at the end of the day, you're only with yourself 24/7.
Yeah,
No one else is there.
exactly.
So why not have a good relationship with yourself?
Yes, and also making yourself proud and making sure that you do what you want to be doing and not what your family wants you to be doing, your partner wants you to be doing, your friends. Like, you need to be making yourself proud more than anyone. And yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you
Thank
for
you.
sharing your story, because sharing your story is hard, but sharing your story can also enlighten others, and how it has been for you has been very inspiring.
Mhm.
You know, sharing your story, and you're probably inspiring so many people. I mean, she's almost up to 1 million. So, where can people find Megan? Where can we find
Well, my main platform is Instagram. I do dark humor. I do comedy on Instagram at MBEECO. My YouTube and is also MBEECO. I plan on going into long form soon, like after I hit a mill. My Twitch is pisses me off. MB33CO because someone stole MBCO and they're probably watching this too. MB33CO is the Twitch, and I'm a lot more like personal, talk about personal things, share stories, talk about myself on there than just like skits in my art.
Yeah.
I do Snapchat daily. Adam Biko. And yeah, Adam Biko besides the Twitch on everything.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on here and
Thank you for
really
having
sharing your life with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hope you guys enjoyed this.
Well, thank you guys for joining the spotlight with your girl Jersey and Megan here. And we'll see you next time.